What's going on, guys? It's Filthy, back with another video. Somebody's asked me to check out the concept for the Crusader, stick it together with the various sets that we can craft and work out whether it's a good starting build or not. Now I think it is, so I've got 1000 paragon, but for the testing purposes I've limited myself to 400, so it's a kind of reflective of a really early season build, and we're going to clear GR70 I think in about 4 or 5 minutes maybe. It's pretty nice and pretty easy. So the concept, for anybody who doesn't know, is the starting set for season 18 for the Crusader. 2-piece gives us a resource cost reduction whilst Akkhan's champion is up. We're going to get that all the time. Akkhan's champion will be permanently up in this build, not even breaking a sweat. So we get 50% off the resource cost. That's really handy because our damage dealer is condemn. It is a spender, so you know the resource cost reduction is handy. The 4-piece reduce the cooldown of Akkhan's champion by 50%. That's really handy. It does allow us to have 100% uptime on it. We probably could achieve 100% uptime without that, given the way the build works, but it just makes our life a lot easier. The 6-piece, whilst Akkhan's champion is active, we deal 1500% and take 50% less damage. So unless we have Akkhan's champion active, we don't deal any damage. So we have to have this up to actually hit enemies. So to condemn build, so the two main multipliers for that are going to be the Blade of Prophecy and the Cube. So this is an 800% multiplier, and 2 condemned enemies also trigger another explosion. And then the Friday's Wrath shield, so we now have no cooldown and its damage is increased by up to 800%, but this is what turns it into a spender. It costs 40 Wrath. So as you can see, Wrath goes down when we spend it. Now the other weapon we're going to be taking is the Messerschmitt's Reaver, and this is really nice. It featured it in my God tier Necro build. Basically, when you kill an enemy, we get 1 second off any one of our cooldowns. Now we've actually got quite a lot of skills on cooldown, but don't worry, they all come back really quickly. But this is a really nice kind of speed item, and it's an easy one to get because there's not that many two-handed axes in the loot pool, and it doesn't roll on a range, so you can pretty much just equip the first one you get. You don't have to worry about a percent multiplier. Now the other sets we're taking are the Captain Crimson's. So the 2-piece gives us life per second, it increases our cooldown by 20% and reduces our resource cost by 20%. So that's really handy for the spender, it's really handy for keeping Akkhan's champion up. But the 3-piece is the really interesting one here. Our damage dealt is increased by our percentage cooldown reduction, and our damage taken is reduced by the resource cost. So basically more cooldown is more damage, and more resource cost reduction is more mitigation. So that obviously synergizes very well. Now we're also going to be taking the Guild's build, or the Guild set rather. This is just basically going to be more damage from the 2-piece, so 15% damage reduction and 30% increased damage, and then off the 3-piece, reduce damage against elites and increase damage against elites. So elites we just delete with this. It's really nice. Now the great thing is this captain set is craftable. Same for the Guild set. You know, once you find the plan, you can craft them. So that makes the build quite easy to put together, particularly when you get all of these pieces of the Akkhan set through the season journey. Now we obviously have to take the Rogue in the cube because we want to make up all of our set bonuses. So that's essential. Lyric's Crown is going to give us more cooldown. You can get this at level 1 with a Crusader, so you can make an ult and roll helms and you'll get this pretty easy. So the only things we've really got to worry about as being kind of finicky to get is probably the sword. That's a bit of a pain. You can roll shards for the shield, so that's nice and easy to put together. So the only thing will be rings, but again you can spend shards on them and you can upgrade them in the cube. But we're going to be taking Convention of Elements just for extra damage when it rolls onto Holy. So by no means essential, Stone of Jordan would work quite well here, but the main star of the build, which pairs really well with the Messerschmitt's Reaver, is the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. We reduce the cooldown on one of our skills by 1 second when we hit with a resource spending attack. So once we condemn and we kill something, we obviously hit it, so we proc the Zodiac, and if we kill it, we proc the Messerschmitt's Reaver. So it's kind of like almost having like a double Zodiac. So that allows us to get all of our skills back super quickly. So dealing with them, Condemn we're going to have Unleash just so that it activates instantly because we want to run through and kill things very quickly. and this just deals mega damage. I've put provoke hit me on left click. This is just in case we get something badly wrong at some point and run out of wrath. It's really unlikely you have to forget to activate Akkhan's champion and absolutely blast condemn repeatedly, but it's there. It will also give you an increased block chance, but to be honest, we don't really use it, and I just can't think of anything to be bothered putting here, so that's definitely the least important thing. Laws of Valor, this is really interesting because we basically get an active effect when we activate it, so we get increased attack speed, but the interesting part here is that the wrath cost is reduced for 50% for 5 seconds, and we've got long arm of the law, so we're going to double that, so it's a 10-second buff that is active. So if we just press it, we get this little buff bar, and on our sheet what happens is the resource cost reduction actually goes up, so it's now at 70% because it was at 35 earlier, so there you go, it's just dropped off. So whenever we activate this, it goes up, and that, because of the Captain Crimsons, is an absolutely huge damage reduction. It's really nice, and it allows us to spam out the condemns with barely even feeling it, which is really, really nice. So obviously if you pop Akkhan's champion and the Laws of Valor, you can pretty much click this as often as you want and it doesn't even go down, so that's really nice. And as I say, you've got provoke just in case you get into trouble. Iron Skin, Reflective Skin, this is just a 50% damage reduction. It's on a 7-second duration, 30 seconds is the uptime, so with the level of cooldown we've got, with all the procs, we can numlock this. We'll also numlock Laws of Valor, and literally they're just up the whole time, so you get a 50% DR the whole way, and you get your 50% resource cost, which again is another 50% DR. Akkhan's champion, we need this for the build. Prophet just seems to be the way to go for this. It's extra armor, which is extra toughness, and it gives us a cheat death if we do happen to take fatal damage with the build, so that's really nice. And then Steed Charge, Endurance, and this is just simply just to get about the map a bit quicker, and again 16-second cooldown with the level of cooldown reduction, with the Zodiac, with the Mercerschmitts. Again, it's pretty much there, totally on demand. Passives wise, we're taking a two-hander, so we have to have Heavenly Strength because we want to equip a shield. Takes 20% off the damage, but there's no way around it. Long Arm of the Law, talked about, that's essential. I've gone for Holy Cause just so that we can get the healing every time we use Condemn because it is a holy rune. And then Finery is going to give us extra strength for the gear that we've got sockets. Now for the gear, obviously we've got fairly crappy gems. I think I've got one that's ranked up to the max level, and then the rest are normal. Got the crit hit gem, I've ranked that up, again you probably will do for the season early doors, and the same for your cooldown gem, but I would go for this one first over the cooldown because dropping an extra couple of points probably won't hurt you too much. Legendary gem wise, Bane of the Trapped, this is rank 65, so again really easy doable. Bane of the Powerful, more damage against elites, again another reason why they just simply get vaporized with this. Again, the rank doesn't matter, you could leave this at rank 25, it would be absolutely fine. And then Gogok Swiftness, so again another low rank gem for the testing, but this is just extra cooldown, so 15 stacks is 15% CDR, and we also get the increased attack speed and dodge chance. So it's really simple to play, and hopefully speaking we'll get a decent map. So we're going to numlock basically Laws of Valor and Iron Skin, and then we just jump in. I'm going to do a 70, and hopefully speaking this build won't make me a liar and we'll do it pretty easy. So nice map to start with. So as you can see, the enemies just disappear, and we're going to get an elite now, so a couple of clicks and they're gone. So for only 400 paragon, this is obviously pretty nice, and you should be able to see, if you can see the bar, the skills are just coming back so quickly. There's absolutely no chance that any of them are going to end up off. So obviously you do get hit fairly hard with only 400 paragon, at this difficulty level, but the damage reduction that we've got is fine, and with the abilities coming back, it's super easy. So I'm kind of tempted to play Crusader next season. I haven't done one since my Xbox days, so it would be quite nice to do. I'm very interested in the Legacy Dreams version of this build, just to see how it functions, because again, I think you can maybe make a pretty high-end functioning speed farm with this. I mean, the only problem with Condemn is it does run out of juice on the Rift Guardian. Now, Blessed Shield is another option for this set, so if your RNG drops you the Blessed Shield gear, you can obviously go for that, and that's kind of nice because it means that, you know, whilst you're rolling for swords and for shields to get this up, you might just naturally find the items to do this and get them. So, you know, you've got a couple of options, which is nice. And I like the flexibility of the Akkhan set. You know, you can obviously pair it with a Sage early doors, Sage set to get more DBs, and that will help you, you know, upgrade more items. So it'll give you more chances of getting your Condemn sword. You know, more chances of getting items that you want for you know, various other builds. And you know, Legacy of Dreams is going to be very strong for Crusader. So, you know, you've got some good pushing options as well. So, you know, it is a pretty good class. And as you can see, you know, this is a walk in the park, provided you remember to activate your Akarat's champion. But I'm pleased they've reworked these sets. I initially wasn't particularly fussed by the Crimsons or by the Ur Guilds, but actually looking at them and having played with them and tested them, you know, they are pretty strong. And don't forget, in the season theme, you can have these triune circles to stand in, so that again will be even more damage reduction, even because of the resource cost reductions from the Crimsons, extra damage from the damage circle, and also even more cooldown. So I think, yeah, Sage is a pretty good choice, I think, to start. Not sure if it's the quickest, but it's certainly a pretty easy one to play. And obviously cooldown pylon with this just makes a bit of a mockery of it, because, you know, your skills are just on like insta. So I'm interested what you guys going to play. So Rift Guardian does take, you know, it's not the quickest thing in the world because of the Condemn's like quite poor for single target, but you know, you've got your potion. I haven't even equipped a follower. I haven't got a pet. I just literally just chucked this together really quick just to show you how easy it is. So yeah, GR70 primals would be unlocked now. Absolute piece of cake with the Crusader. So, you know, fairly interesting. I think there's room to grow. You know, if you stuck some augments, if you got all ancient pieces, you know, most of this gear is pretty trash, to be honest. You know, the shield is ancient, but it's crap. You know, I think this was the only other ancient piece, and none of this is particularly great gear. So, you know, during the season you'll probably find better stuff than this. So yeah, as I say, easy peasy, a lot of fun to play, very brainless, you know, which a lot of my builds tend to be because I'm just so lazy and casual. But yeah, that's it, guys. Akkhan with the green sets, you know, pretty good. You could also run Focus and Restraint. Obviously you'd lose the Zodiac cooldown proccing effect, but I'm pretty sure it would work even with the Mercer-Schmitts, and you'd be dealing a lot of damage then with those two, because that would be more damage than the convention. But, you know, plenty of ways to go. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you like it. Leave me a thumbs up if you do, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.